Imagine sitting on the cold, concrete steps of a Brooklyn housing project, trying to block out the shouting from your family's apartment. Now picture leaving that stairwell and eventually building a global corporation that generates billions of dollars a year. The path between those two realities raises an interesting question. How do you build a massive, highly profitable empire without crushing the human dignity of the people working inside it? Welcome to Summarypedia. Today we're looking at From the Ground Up, written by former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. We are going to extract the practical frameworks from his life story that you can apply, whether you are running a multinational corporation or leading a small local team. It serves as a blueprint for balancing aggressive financial ambition with a deep, unyielding commitment to social responsibility. Schultz's worldview was shaped by watching his father work grueling, physically demanding jobs. He saw firsthand what happens to a person when their daily labor offers no path forward. The system his father worked in prioritized raw output over the well-being of the workers. It slowly stripped away his dignity, leaving a lasting psychological mark on his son. Today, that same detachment often exists in modern corporate environments. Executives operate from 30,000 feet, viewing their employees entirely as numbers on a spreadsheet. Schultz approached leadership differently. He argued that to truly scale a business while keeping its soul intact, a company must completely reimagine its role in society. True corporate leadership requires ensuring the very system that builds your wealth doesn't crush the people powering it on the ground floor. Growing up, Schultz found his family's tiny apartment in the Canarsie housing projects chaotic and loud. To cope, he would leave the apartment and sit alone on the cold, hard steps of the building's stairwell. That early need for a safe, quiet refuge, an urban nest, eventually became the core cultural concept behind his entire brand. He called it the third place. It is a welcoming social environment that exists distinctly between the isolation of your home and the stress of your workplace. If you want to build a lasting organization, you have to design spaces, physical or cultural, where people inherently feel safe, respected, and connected to one another. Competitors can easily replicate a core product like a cup of coffee, but a genuine sense of belonging provides an impenetrable competitive advantage. By the time the 2008 financial crisis hit, Starbucks had become bloated and detached from its original roots. The company was failing rapidly. Schultz realized his executives were too far removed. As shown here, he mandated they get their hands in the mud. To fix the product, he took a drastic step, closing 7,100 stores to retrain 135,000 baristas on pouring espresso. Shutting down the entire domestic operation for an afternoon cost the company millions of dollars in immediate revenue. However, it made a massive, undeniable public statement that they were serious about prioritizing quality. The lesson here is to never let the scale of your operation or your executive status disconnect you from the granular, messy details of your actual craft. True course correction requires abandoning the safety of the boardroom and returning to the front lines where actual value is created. As the company recovered, Schultz leaned heavily on the African concept of Ubuntu, which translates roughly to "I am because of you." This became his guiding philosophy for corporate duty. Under this ethos, business success is never treated as an entitlement. Instead, it is a resource that carries a strict responsibility to elevate society. This philosophy triggered massive corporate investments. Starbucks began providing health care for part-time workers and even paying for employee college degrees through Arizona State University. They also launched an aggressive initiative to hire military veterans, aiming to give transitioning groups the agency and resources to control their own fate. Leaders must view their wealth and privilege through a wide-angle lens, using their advantages to actively pull others up. Ultimately, a company's legacy is measured not by its stock price, but by the upward mobility it provides to its most vulnerable workers. Howard Schultz grew up in Brooklyn public housing, far removed from the boardrooms he would later inhabit. He fought his way out, becoming the first person in his family to graduate college. He then took a small local coffee business with just 11 stores and grew it into a global juggernaut of over 28,000 locations. Because he has lived at both extreme ends of America's economic spectrum, his insights on wealth inequality and corporate duty are grounded in lived reality rather than abstract boardroom theory. To apply these lessons, First, cultivate third places to foster human connection. Second, abandon the high-level view and get your hands in the mud. Third, embrace Ubuntu, ensuring your success elevates the people around you. If you found these insights valuable, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Summarypedia for more. True leadership requires the relentless, daily pursuit of blending massive profitability with profound human empathy.